The moment Samantha Davis's voice cracked mid-interview, you could hear the pain cut through the silence like a razor. She wasn't even on camera, just her trembling voice. My daughter tried to take her life because of what Lauren did. The studio froze. The segment was pulled. It was deemed too raw, too real, too risky. But it was in that silence that something darker began to leak. Something most of Hollywood still refuses to say out loud. Because behind Lauren Sanchez's billion-dollar smile and effortless charisma lies something else. Not a scandal, not a rumor, but a pattern of betrayal, manipulation, and quiet, brutal destruction. This isn't a tabloid hit job. These are the stories you were never supposed to hear. Stories buried by billionaires, erased by PR teams, smothered by silence. So, who really is Lauren Sánchez? Was she ever chasing success? Or was she always building something else? From the start, Lauren wasn't climbing a ladder. She was building a kingdom. Stone by stone, name by name, Bodhi by Bodhi. Born in the hard corners of Albuquerque, New Mexico, she learned early that the world wouldn't hand her anything. So, she took it. Even as a child, she didn't forget slights. She didn't cry when she scraped her knees, but she remembered who pushed her. By 10, she was already playing social chess. Alliances, secrets, power games. She wasn't surviving childhood. She was rehearsing for something much, much bigger. And the first major betrayal, it didn't happen in Hollywood. It happened in college. Jennifer Clark had everything going for her. A golden path into journalism, an internship at CNN, powerful connections, a bright future. And then Lauren came. They studied together. Late nights, close conversations, trust, or so Jennifer thought. But what she didn't know was that Lauren was collecting her doubts, her fears, her weak spots like ammunition. Behind the scenes, Lauren used Jennifer's contacts to submit her own CNN application. Meanwhile, she nudged Jennifer toward a local news station job. It's a better fit, she told her. Jennifer never made it to CNN. Today, she scans groceries. She stole the life I was building, Jennifer said. And I didn't even know I'd handed it to her. And Lauren? She was just getting started. Every newsroom she entered became a chessboard. Every colleague, a potential pawn. At KCOP, the next target was Rebecca Torres, an experienced anchor, respected, on track for a major promotion. Within weeks, Lauren knew her secret. Alcohol. What happened next wasn't an accident. It was a whisper campaign, a car failure, a planted deep, an anonymous complaint. Rebecca was fired. Lauren got the anchor chair. Rebecca lost everything. Her job, her family, and eventually her life. She drank herself into silence. But Lauren kept rising. What happens when ambition turns into something else? Something colder? Something calculated? Because the next move Lauren made wasn't just ruthless. It was personal. And the price someone paid? Unimaginable. Lauren Sánchez didn't just win. She erased the competition. And the price others paid? Unseen, unspoken, until now. At Fox 11, the newsroom buzzed with energy. One of its brightest stars was Samantha Davis. Trusted, adored, respected. A rare anchor who wasn't just talented. She was kind. To someone like Lauren, that made her dangerous. But how do you take down someone everyone loves? You start where no one's looking. Lauren befriended Samantha's assistant, a fresh-faced 23-year-old who looked up to both of them. From her, Lauren extracted secrets. Samantha's long hours, her strained relationship with a married producer, her exhaustion, her blind spots. And then came the whispers. Not accusations, just little phrases dropped in the right ears. Journalistic integrity. Boundaries crossed. Not sure it's ethical. Vague enough to avoid blame. Sharp enough to cause damage. Soon, there was a leak. Internal investigators got involved. Rumors became headlines. Samantha's career crumbled. But the worst wasn't public. Samantha's 16-year-old daughter, Emily, was already battling addiction. Few people knew. But once the tabloids got hold of it, it exploded. Emily's name, her rehab center, her history, exposed. The bullying online was relentless. Within days, Emily tried to take her life. And Samantha? She was shattered. She was just beginning to heal, she whispered later. Lauren used that, my daughter's pain, to finish me off. Who does that? And why didn't anyone stop her? Because by then, Lauren's rise was no longer limited to newsrooms. She had learned something bigger. Power follows proximity. And her next target? A celebrity. Tony Gonzalez, football star. Charismatic, influential, connected. To the world, their romance looked like a love story. But behind the scenes, it was reconnaissance. According to his longtime friend Mario Lopez, Lauren tracked Tony's habits, his circle, his weaknesses. She kept notes, names, salaries, leverage, and when someone didn't fit, they were cut. Tony's childhood best friend, Carmen Rodriguez, didn't buy the act. She voiced concern. She pushed back. Then came a story, planted, according to insiders, accusing Carmen of begging for money. It wasn't true, but it didn't matter. The damage was done. Tony never spoke to her again. A 20-year friendship gone. And Lauren? She was now firmly inside Tony's world and climbing. But this wasn't random. It was rehearsed, repeated, refined. Who would be next? A businessman, a pilot, a man with a heart and a weakness. And the trap set for him would be one of her most devastating. Patrick Whittel never saw it coming. A businessman, a pilot, a man who thought he'd found love in Lauren Sánchez. But he wasn't her destination. He was her next step. Lauren studied Patrick. And like always, she found the soft spot. His ex-wife, Lindsay. She knew he still had feelings. So, she went to work. A fake interview. Heartfelt conversations. Carefully planted doubts. She told Lindsay lies, twisting Patrick's words, faking offense, manipulating tone. By the time Lindsay realized what was happening, the damage was done. Patrick pulled away, and Lauren stepped in. Then came the isolation. One by one, his friends, his advisors, even his business partners gone. She didn't just want Patrick's love. She wanted his company. That company? Black Ops Aviation, a private flight service built on trust, precision, and legacy. It became something else, a weapon. Because Lauren wasn't trying to innovate. She was trying to dominate. And nothing spreads faster than destruction. Michael Stone ran a rival aviation company, small but successful. Until one day, his world stopped. The IRS came knocking. Anonymous tips, financial probes, frozen accounts. While he fought to keep his business alive, Lauren moved in, offering his clients better rates, elite service, and silence. Stone lost everything. His company, his marriage, his name. She smiled at me once, he said, at an air show, like I didn't exist. And for women in the industry, it was worse. Janice Wilson had experience, credibility, and respect. That made her dangerous. So Lauren did what she always did. She invented a scandal. Safety violations, FAA inspections, a whisper campaign behind the scenes. The allegations didn't stick, but the reputation didn't survive. Janice's clients vanished overnight. Her company collapsed. Her license remained, but her future? Gone. And while others burned, Lauren built luxury jets, Beverly Hills mansions, rare jewelry, each one tied to a story of silence, sabotage, or stolen trust. And then came the final move. Jeff Bezos. To the public, it looked like serendipity, a love story. But behind the scenes, it was war. She needed a path into tech journalism. That's where Melissa Chun came in. Respected, honest, unbought. So Lauren fabricated a scandal. Leaked proof of bribes. Melissa's name was blacklisted. Erased. Lauren took her seat. And from there, she studied Bezos like she studied everyone else. His marriage. His routines. His weaknesses. She learned rocketry. Befriended scientists. Started contact. Leaked false allegations. And when the time came, she made the move. Private messages. Subtle leaks. Silent cracks in Jeff's marriage until it collapsed. Then, Lauren stepped in. One by one, his longtime staff began to vanish. Friends, advisors, inner circle, gone. She wasn't just part of his world. She was reorganizing it. Today, her reach spans media, aviation, tech, and maybe soon politics. Some say she's planning a run. Others whisper about a media empire in the making. But the real question? At what cost? Because behind that empire is a long line of broken names. Jennifer Clark, swiping groceries. Rebecca Torres, buried in silence. Samantha Davis, holding her daughter's hand through healing. Melissa Chun, still trying to reclaim her name. Dr. Robert Kimball, whose research now belongs to someone else. And Patrick Whittel, standing alone. What does it take to rise this high? And how many more stories like this are still being silenced? 4 more stories buried behind billion-dollar headlines. Subscribe now, because what you see in the spotlight is only half the truth. The rest? It's hidden. Until now.